So my name is Carl Kleimann. I am with Moffitt Services. We're a Texas-based, Houston-based fuel and lubricants distributor. Um, we're a fourth-generation company. The Moffitt brand has been around since 1947. It's myself and two business partners. Kind of my role in the business is the back office. For us, that means accounting, finance, human resources, safety, risk management. My two partners, one of my partners handles the sales and the customer relations part of the business, and my third partner handles our disaster response piece of the business, Rusty Mouth. We really think of our business in really four different segments. So we're a fuel distributor, a lubricants distributor. We also have a brokerage business. So we find that we have customers that go to other parts of the country to do work, and they don't want to go find another fuel vendor. And so we have relationships with over 70 fuel distributors across the country. We'll take that order, fulfill that order through a third party. That's one of the fastest growing segments of our business. And then the fourth component is disaster response. When storms and other disasters happen around the country, we have a large base of customers that mobilize to those areas, and we provide the fuel to keep their generators, desiccant equipment, pumps and other apparatus running throughout the life of that event. We like to pride ourselves on kind of focusing on what I would call high demand environments. And what I mean by that is where the cost of failure is high, right? And I think our storm or disaster business has taught us a lot. When you're keeping a hospital operating room up and running, or you're keeping the communication system up and running, or you're keeping first responders, base operations up and running in these disasters, I think it teaches the organization a lot about the cost of failure, right? Those things just can't run out of fuel. That generator has to keep running. It doesn't matter what the weather's like. It doesn't matter how high the water is across the road. It just has to happen, right? And so I think that's kind of transcended into what we call our core business and probably serves us well in just serving our day-to-day customers. So one of the things we discovered is these, four business segments of ours all have somewhat similar needs, but also disparate needs. For example, our brokerage business, our trucks aren't making those deliveries. And so getting that information back from the field in terms of the product and the gallons for billing purposes, it takes on a little different challenge than when our trucks are making the deliveries. In disaster events, sometimes the communication systems are down, so our trucks are out making deliveries, and getting that data back to the home office can sometimes be challenging in those early days and weeks of these disaster events. And so as our business continued to grow, and as we branched out into these other segments, we realized that we were going to have to leverage technology to really keep up the pace and to meet those challenges of our business. And that's really what led us to go to the market and look at FleetPanda. We looked at a variety of other platforms as well. So one of the things that really caught our attention, I guess, as we started evaluating the what I'll call logistics platforms in the market, are, some have been around a really long time, and you kind of get what you get, and then there are others that are developing, and we found FleetPanda was in that latter group, where we felt like we liked what we saw. We clearly recognized that there was more to come, and we liked that development path, and thought this was our opportunity to maybe have some influence, some input into what that ultimately looked like. And that was very valuable to us because of the complexity of our business with the four different business segments that I described to you. We didn't find another platform that we thought could bring all four of those components together in one piece of software. When it came to the implementation of the platform, I'm sure we were no different than most companies facing this. We had reservations. We had concerns. We've been doing it the way we've been doing it for a long time. We have a lot of people in our organization that have a lot of years of experience, both with us and in the industry. Um, One of my least favorite terms is that's the way we've always done it. But that's a reality. So we knew we were going to have to win people over. And so we kind of started methodically, department by department, drivers, dispatchers, billers, our inside sales team that takes orders from our customers, and really started kind of listening to them. And I think probably what was most useful to us was helping them understand and see the struggles that they were having with the current status quo, and then start to show them the components, the features, the benefits of FleetPanda that could start to address some of those. And one of the things that we found is once we finally said, okay, let's launch into this, it actually went much quicker and much smoother than we expected it to go. And in fact, we started this implementation while a good part of our team was away working a hurricane event in Florida. And despite that, we just didn't want to wait any longer. And within a matter of 7, 8, 9 days, we had trained all of our drivers at all 3 of our locations across Texas, were operational on the platform, and then we could simply focus on enhancements and furthering the training, which is went a lot better than I expected. I've been in other industries before. I've worked around technology, and kind of my philosophy is you can never expect it to go flawless. You have to plan for kind of the human elements of that. We try to do a good job of that. If we did it again, we could probably do it better for sure. But overall, I was very pleased with the way that went, and I've tried to remain involved in the project and demonstrate every day that I believe in the end goal, and I think our people do too. During that week or 10-day period that we were launching, one of the things I found that was refreshing is that there was a stakeholder on FleetPanda's side of this equation for various elements. There was a stakeholder for training. There was a stakeholder for support. There was a phone number that was open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for drivers to call, for example, during this period. There was a stakeholder for problem solving, a stakeholder for data migration, and everybody really knew their role. And I found that refreshing. Secondly, there were times where maybe we needed help with some of our tasks, like organizing data. And there were a number of times where FleetPanda came in and said, let us write a script to take the data from the format you have it in to the format you need it in, or to help you clean up duplicate data or data with errors, which was also a huge help. We have a very thin IT function in our organization. It's a department of one, right. And so we probably could not have pulled this off as quickly as we did without FleetPanda's help around data and data migration. So one of the things that has been intriguing for us is kind of this initial goal we had to be a design partner with FleetPanda. As I said earlier, that was one of the reasons we chose FleetPanda. We saw the opportunity to have an impact on what the end product really looks like, and that's been true. Now that we've implemented across what we call our core business, now we're implementing the platform in other areas of our business, such as our brokerage business, such as our disaster response business, and then our lubricants business. But it's been interesting once you start having this data at your fingertips. So when you see, what time every truck arrived at every delivery, how long that delivery took, what time they departed, what time they, went through the geofence for that delivery, how much product they have on the truck without having to communicate with the driver. It stimulates, in my mind anyway, and almost creates an endless quest for the things you can do with that data, things to drive efficiency and drive productivity. For example, we're working with FleetPanda on some AI that will help with the routing of the trucks. Now, our dispatchers would probably say no machine can duplicate what they do in that area, and they may be right, but we'll see. I think there is a place for some AI around routing, fill efficiency, us having a better opportunity to know, how much fuel we put into what size tank to give us fill efficiency data. That's been difficult for us to collect and analyze in the paper mode that we were in before FleetPanda. So these are all areas where we're excited about the future. We're excited about how that data impacts our business, helps us make better decisions, helps safety, for example. We had a scenario recently. We brought on a very large customer that has some very stringent requirements. When you enter their work site, you have to have a spotter with you. You have to have certain kinds of clothing and protective gear on, including a hard hat. For that kind of information to pop up the minute you break through the geofence on your way to that location is valuable and could ultimately save someone from getting hurt or even worse. So we're really excited about some of these initiatives that, as a design partner, we've had the opportunity to help bring to fruition.
That's awesome.
So going into this project, we really thought most about fuel delivery, right? Telling the drivers where the fuel needs to go, which product, which quantity, into which asset. One of the things that we've learned is that we've actually had a lot of success in impacting the front end of that process, which is where the driver sources the fuel. So it provides a great platform, much better than text or email or any other means, to make sure that on the fly, that driver knows, which loading number to use at which terminal to make sure that we're optimizing our purchasing strategy. Before that was a very manual process and not always carried out with perfect execution. On the back end, we have automated some of our billing routines so that delivery ticket information, the customer, the delivery or ship to address or job name, which asset the fuel went into, at which quantity, is now all pulling and being uploaded automatically into our billing system. And we see opportunities to automate that even further, but it's saving our billing department a considerable amount of time and also improving accuracy because we're not keying that data, we're importing much of that data. We look forward to continuing this design partner strategy. I think one of the things that for me, I've had to prioritize my thoughts because I with all of this data at your fingertips, I see so many opportunities, and one of the things that I've tried to strategize is making sure I write all those ideas down and that I prioritize them. FleetPanda's been great about saying, give us the list, keep the ideas coming. It doesn't mean that we'll execute every one of them today, but the company really seems to be interested in building the best of breed technology, and we're certainly going to do our part to keep those ideas flowing for FleetPanda.